This is part 2 of a 4-part series on how to use the Google Jamboard application as an interactive whiteboard with students. In part 1, we talked about finding the application, installing it, and then launching it once it's been installed. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to open a Jamboard, the features that are within the Jamboard, and where the Jamboard saves on your Google Drive. So here I have a blank screen that I have opened up once I start Google Jamboard, and you can see in the bottom right corner there's an orange circle with a white plus sign. If I go ahead and click on that, it actually creates a new Jamboard for me. And just like any Google application, the first thing I'm going to want to do in the top left corner is click on Untitled Jam, and I'm going to want to name this. And then I click OK. So I've started a new Jamboard and I've named it. At this point, let's hop over to my Google Drive just to show you where Google Jamboards save. Because Jamboard is a Google product, I don't need to hit the save button. It automatically saves as I make changes. And if we look at the root directory of my Google Drive, all I did was go to drive.google.com. You can see here that the demo Jamboard has already been saved to my drive. So let's hop back over to the Google Jamboard. Let's start at the very top, and what you're going to see is you're going to see the frame bar. Google Jamboards are just like Google Slides in the sense that right now we're looking at one slide. If I wanted to have a lesson that had multiple slides, I could click on the down triangle and I could hit the blue plus sign to create additional slides. Another thing that I could do is that if I've created something on the first slide that I really like and that I want to duplicate, if I hover over the first slide and I click on the 3 dots, I can actually duplicate that slide. And the other thing I can do is if I hover over a slide and I click on the 3 dots, I can delete a slide. Let's go ahead and collapse that frame bar. Working our way down, I can change the background. Right now it's a plain white background. I can change the background. Or I can clear this frame. So if I have a bunch of writing on here and I want to just delete it all at once, I can click the clear frame button and it'll wipe everything out. Over on the left hand side here, I have my pen tool, my eraser tool, a select pointer, sticky notes, adding an image, and a laser pointer. Let's start at the top. Next to the pen tool, you're going to see there's a little triangle right there. If I click on that, this is going to give me all of my options. I have 4 different pens in the Google Jamboard. I have a pen tool, I have a marker, a highlighter, and I have a brush tool, and I have a palette of 6 different colors. So if I click the pen tool and I click blue, I can go ahead and I can start writing on my Jamboard. Now I'm using a computer that has a mouse. If you have a tablet or some other device that allows you to do touchscreen, you might be a little bit more accurate with your writing. But right now with this demonstration, I'm using a mouse. And just to show you, I can switch over, let's say, to a highlighter and choose yellow. And I can write on my Jamboard. The next tool is the erase tool. If I click on that, I can just go ahead and erase everything I've done. Or like I said earlier, if I bring all of that back again, I can hit clear frame and it'll wipe everything out at once. Let's skip the pointer tool for right now and head down to the sticky notes. This is a fun little tool. It's just literally like adding a sticky note to your Jamboard. And if I hit save, I can change the color of my sticky note if I wanted to. And if I hit save, it's going to put it right on my board. I can make it bigger, and I can make it smaller. I can even rotate it. So if I have a worksheet that I'm working on and I just want to put some text, one of the things I could do is click on the sticky note. And what I can do is instead of putting a colored background, I can use this little droplet tool here, which is just a clear background. And then it looks like I've just typed text on my Jamboard with no background at all. So that's a fun tool if you want to annotate some of your items. The laser tool is really just a temporary red mark if you want to draw attention to an area. So if I want to say make sure that this is what you do, you can see It shows up for a little while and then it slowly disappears on its own. I'm going to click my pointer icon and I'm going to select something. I'm going to hit delete. The last thing I want to show you here is the image, add an image. So if I click add an image, if I have something on my Google Drive, I can insert it, or I can select something from my computer. So let's say I'm working on a kindergarten math lesson on the distributive property, because that's what we do. I actually can insert an image onto my Google Jamboard, and I can work on this worksheet right on the whiteboard. I have it on the highlighter tool right now. I can select back over to the pen tool and choose the black color, and I could actually write right onto it. The only downside of Google Jamboard is that you can't embed PDF files. It has to be an image, so it has to be a JPEG file or a GIF file. Another thing I can do is if I come over here and I hit add image, instead of uploading a document from my computer, I could actually do a Google image search. And let's say I want to put in an essay pillar. I click on it and I hit select. And there it is. And I can use this as an organizer. So that's an overview of the tools in the Google Jamboard, how to add additional frames, and each of the main tools that you have available to you, and also how to add an image to your Jamboard. In our next video, we're going to be talking about sharing your Jamboard with students so that you can both write on it at the same time.